What's up, y'all? It's Calvin here, and I wanted to holler at you guys about Oregon's outdoor mask mandate that'll be taking place August the 27th, which is this Friday. And so far, the rules do not apply to children up under 5, the homeless population, people engaged in competitive sports, and those delivering an outdoor speech or performance. All right, but of course, if you wanted to go to the park and play basketball or soccer or something like that, you would have to wear a mask. All right. So, people can easily see the hypocrisy and, point it out. Oh, if I played for the Trailblazers, I would be able to, play basketball and not wear a mask and stuff like that. But the bottom line is, come Friday, the mandate will be in place, whether you like it or not, whether you're going to follow it or not, it's going to be in place. Okay. And, I just wanted to give a little bit of advice to people out there, that may potentially be going through this, because as far as it stands right now, Oregon is the only place that has an outdoor mask mandate that is statewide, okay? And so just wanted to put some things out there to kind of, help people out as far as moving around. And first and foremost, if you have any type of protection, you should have that on you. You know what I mean? Because people are getting attacked and killed over this mask situation. There was a security guard in Flint, Michigan, who got shot last year in 2020 around like May or something like that. And then this year, I think it was in June, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but a woman in the Georgia dollar store, she got shot. You know what I'm saying? Because she asked somebody to wear their mask. And I think both of those shootings in Flint, Michigan and in Georgia, they both happened at a dollar store. And, so that's kind of weird. But it's not just folks that are asking people to wear their masks. It's also people getting attacked for wearing masks. All right. So this thing goes both ways. There was a lady who recently got beat up in New York City because she was wearing a mask. And there was a father down in San Francisco, or excuse me, not San Francisco, but Sacramento. Yeah. Sacramento, and he went to go pick his daughter up from school. She came outside wearing a face mask, and he went in there to talk to the principal. Things got heated. Teacher stepped in, and they got to fighting. You know what I mean? And so, now that guy's banned. You know what I'm saying? He can't even come pick his daughter up no more. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to put that out there because to really highlight my next point. If you have people that depending on you and stuff like that, and you don't want to wear a mask, I would still advise you to keep one on you, because that will give you a peaceful out. All right. And that way people won't be putting themselves in situations like the father in Sacramento that went to the school. Because now if a emergency situation happens and he's the only one that can go and pick his child up, like that teacher that he beat up has nothing to do with just whip out his phone and call the cops and say, hey, that guy is here again. And you know what I'm saying? The cops gonna come get your kid and they gonna take you to jail. You know what I mean? So, don't put yourself in that type of situation. Give yourself a peaceful out. If you, don't like what the school is doing and you're financially not able to homeschool your child, you know what I'm saying? Make that your main goal and, be peaceful until then, and just simply remove your child from the school. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to conform to what you want. You know what I mean? Especially if you're coming in there throwing haymakers. It is not going to work that way. You know what I'm saying? All right. But I wanted to go into some scriptures to kind of back up the stuff that I'm saying. All right. And I'm going to start with, see Romans 12:18. And it says, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. All right. So that is pretty crystal clear, you know what I'm saying, of what we are being commanded to do in that sense. You know what I'm saying? That should be the first thing that we reach for. All right. And then we're moving on to Isaiah 33:6. And it says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Okay. And you will see just how much wisdom can get you through some things. You know what I mean? When we come to James chapter 3, all right? And we'll start at verse 13 and we'll probably go down to verse 17, okay? And it says, "Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom." And if you come here to look at the definition of meekness, or excuse me, meek, it is quiet, gentle, easily imposed on, submissive. All right. And this is an aspect of wisdom. Okay. The way that will play out in real life, as far as, you know what I'm saying, submitting from a wise standpoint, would be like going to go get your family some food. And in order to do that, the store that you're getting it from requires you to wear a mask. So instead of going in there and making the scene, you know what I mean, just put the mask on and get your family some food. You know what I'm saying? Because there's been situations where people have gone in there and they've taken a stand and they've got banned from them stores. And, you know, that's just cutting off a food supply for you and your family. You know what I mean? So, you know, these are the types of things that you need to think about because they're very important in the time that we're in. Coming back to James chapter 3 and going down to verse 14. All right. And it says, "But if ye have bitter envying and strife inside your heart, glory not and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth from not above, but is earthly, sensual, and devilish." Something that I wanted to point out about this particular scripture is that, you know, amongst the strife that we have all throughout society right now, you know what I'm saying, it's crazy that the scripture would say sensual and devilish, because like there's a, you know, of course with the, you know, movies and stuff like that, it's sexualized and stuff, but like there's a rash of like these groping crimes and like peeping toms and like stuff like that. It's just a rash of them breaking out all throughout the country. You know what I'm saying? It's just like everywhere people are doing the same thing, like the same deviant stuff. You know what I mean? And it's just interesting that the scripture would word it this way. You know what I mean? "For where envying and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work." All right. And if we come to look up the definition of strife, it says angry or bitter disagreement over fundamental issues, conflict. All right. And we are seeing a lot of strife going on behind these doggone masks. Okay. And the whole vax, not vax, whole situation. Okay. But the Bible commands us to show the meekness. All right. Show a good conversation with the meekness of wisdom. All right. So that means we're not cursing people out. We are humble, you know what I mean, speaking to folks. All right. And then moving down to verse 17, and it says, "But the wisdom that is from above is pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy." And with this particular scripture, again, it is going into different aspects of wisdom. It is peaceable, it is gentle, it is easy to be entreated, which means that it's very easy and approachable to be asked of. Now, the scripture also tells us to not cast our pearls before swine. All right. So it has to be measured. But if somebody is approaching you in earnest, trying to learn about scriptures and like stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, they should be easily entreated. And that goes in the way of a believer carrying themselves. You know what I mean? Like you know, you shouldn't be looking like you're about to shoot the whole room up. You know what I'm saying, because of this mass situation or because of any situation, you know what I mean, because you're operating in the fruits of the spirit, loving your neighbor the way that you love yourself, so on and so forth. And you know, this is how we create a better society from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? Like the scriptures have the answers if we would just be obedient, you know what I mean. And so anyways, getting back to it, it also goes to say that wisdom is impartial, meaning that it ain't got no picks and chooses. You know what I'm saying? When it's time to tell the truth gets told. And these are scriptures, they cut both ways. Everything that I am reading for you guys, this is for me as well. You know what I'm saying? I am not exempt from any of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I have things that just me and God know about. And so, you know what I'm saying? I ain't no different from now. None of y'all, please don't ever think that way. You know what I'm saying? And understand, every scripture that I am reading to myself. You know what I'm saying? You guys can just hear me. All right? Please believe that. All right? And let it be the same way anytime that you hear the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Examine yourself first. Like, that's the key, man. You know what I mean? And that is definitely going to take you far, because that's what the knowledge part that Isaiah verse spoke of. You know what I'm saying? It's just not knowing about things outside of yourself. Like, that's good, but you also need to know yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you got a hot head and things of that nature, you don't want to wear your mask, you need to move with wisdom. The first way that you do that is through the fear of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That is the beginning of all wisdom. And fearing the Most High, you know what I'm saying, just basically requires you to follow the law. And once again, it always comes back to the law. You know what I'm saying? And not just that, you know what I mean? For those of you who have temper problems and like stuff like that, and you know, could let something real small like get serious. And like nowadays, man, like I'm telling you, it's in the air. You know what I mean? And it feel like it's here to stay. You know what I mean? Like straight up and down. So you know, the fruits of the spirit are, I'm telling you, it's going to get a lot of people through a whole lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, regardless about how good a person can, you know, defend themselves and stuff like that. But back to the script, though, for those of you who have issues with anger, go to the King James Bible online and just type in like anger, you know what I'm saying? And you'll have a whole bunch of scriptures that will pop up on anger, and just go through and just like take your time and like read them. You don't need to do it in like one single day, but they have, you know, a lot of proverbs and stuff like that that will tell you the downfalls of, you know, people getting angry and like doing things, and the you know, there's also righteous anger, you know what I mean? And so, you know, learning about these things and inquiring the Most High, you know what I'm saying, not depending on, you know what I'm saying, me or no one else to like break it down, but like seeking it for yourself. You know what I'm saying, this will help you in a lot of those type areas, you know what I'm saying, because I've got a bit of a hot head too, and like that's how these things are happening. So, you know what I'm saying, that was one reason that I really wanted to make this as well, because, you know, there might be people out there that are like me, you know what I mean. I really prefer to stay away from people, but, you know what I'm saying, like, given the times that we're in, you know what I'm saying, if I want to be obedient with the Most High, I have to get out of that, you know what I'm saying. I may be in a situation where I have to feed the poor, you know, or like whatever, and this is, you know, something that makes my skin crawl just saying it right now. But, you know, I mean, that's the gospel, you know what I'm saying, healing the sick, you know, stuff like that. And you can't do that behind a computer, you know what I'm saying, like straight up and down. So as scary as that sounds for me, you know what I mean, this is something that I have to struggle with, you know what I mean. So like, again, I want to reiterate, you know what I'm saying, anything that is spoken about on here concerning the scriptures, man, understand, I am here with you every step, you know what I mean. So you know, I hope this resonates with people that are, you know, basically sensitive, you know what I'm saying. You can, you know, get set off like real easily, you know what I mean. Like, study these scriptures, meditate on them, you know what I'm saying, and the Most High will help you, you know what I'm saying, like straight up and down. So anyways, moving on, you know what I mean. So like, knowledge yourself, and, you know, that wisdom that comes from that, you know what I'm saying, these are the things that will help you sustain during these times, just the same way the scripture said. All right. And as far as the hypocrisy, you know what I mean, like, wisdom keeps it real, you know what I'm saying. So those who are wise fall in line with that. There is no hypocrisy, you know what I mean. If you got faults, don't act like you don't, you know what I mean, things of that nature. So you know, hopefully this will resonate with you guys and really, you know, get you to feel what the Bible is, man. It's not what a whole lot of people think it is, man. It is a very relevant book as far as how you would govern oneself, you know what I mean. There's a lot of good stuff here, you know what I mean. Right. I also wanted to go in Joshua chapter 24, verse 14 and 15, okay? And we are going to deal with the strife that we were talking about. And if you guys remember, strife is angry or bitter disagreement over fundamental issues, all right? And this right here in Joshua 24, verse 14 and 15, this is how we will be able to get past those angry and bitter disagreements. Because it doesn't say that we can't disagree. These are angry and bitter disagreements, and this will get rid of all the anger, all right? And it says, now therefore fear the Lord and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood, and in Egypt, and serve ye the Lord. And if it seem evil to you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the God of the Amorites in whose lands ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. All right, so in any disagreement that you're getting in with these masks and all that stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Let people have their choice. Let them do what they do. Let them have their say. And if it benefits you to make it home peacefully, to either put your mask on or take it off, go ahead and do that. Do what you got to do. Get your groceries. Take care of your business. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And go back and enjoy the comfort of your own home, being with people that love you, okay? Because with all this demonic activity out there, they are trying to lure the righteous out there. And the scriptures tell us that even the elect may be deceived. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's so important to operate with wisdom and knowledge the same way that we were told in Isaiah, all right? And now, moving on to Matthew chapter 10, and we'll probably start at verse 12 and then work our way down to verse 16, okay? And to give context to this particular chapter, Christ is giving the disciples their marching orders, all right? And he is telling them ways in which they should act, all right? And starting at verse 12, it says, and when you come into a house, salute it, all right? That means show your respect, all right? And if that house be worthy, let your peace be upon it. Let your peace come upon it. But if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when you depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet.
And that right there basically means that you can wash your hands of that person if you're operating the way that Christ commanded us to, and you are not received. You know what I'm saying? So just wanted to touch on that right quick, just in case you may have not known.
And then it goes on to say, verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in that day of judgment than for that city. All right. And then in 16 it says, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. And what this is basically saying to you is the same thing that I was telling you a little bit earlier. You know what I'm saying? That if you have something to protect yourself with, you know what I'm saying, have that with you, moving around out in town and like stuff like that, being around people.
Real quick, there was something that I wanted to touch on with this, pertaining to women. Even though you may have something that would protect you, you should also move a certain way. There was an instance in Portland here recently at a coffee shop where this big dude, he walked into the coffee shop and just basically went in and deboed a soda. And she walked up to him and said something to him. The cameras did not have sound, but I'm guessing that she told him that she was going to call the police, and she walked outside, and he followed her out there and knocked the hell out of her. You know what I'm saying? Of course, in hindsight, you know what I'm saying, we've all got the right idea. But, we can definitely learn from that. And seeing that situation like that, I just really felt impressed to speak to the ladies and tell them that if you get into a situation like that, don't tell the dude that you're gonna call the police. You know what I'm saying? Like get out of sight or whatever, and make that happen, and then just come back nice and smooth and just a smiling or whatever, and get in position to do what it is that you have prepared yourself to do. As far as a self defense type situation, and be easy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wanted to put that in there real quick. And the reason that I'm talking real low is because it's really low, and I'm editing this video and was thinking some things to add in. So that's what that's all about. All right, then, y'all.
Okay, but be as harmless as doves, meaning lead with peace. And to give you a baseball analogy, if think of it as peace is batting, all right, and then up next is your protection, all right. So lead with the peace first, you know what I'm saying? And if you strike out with that, then you can go ahead and take care of the business that needs to be taken care of, all right. And don't just fly right off the handle like that dude, because as I said before, like the father in Sacramento, if anything happens at that school and he's the only one that can get his daughter, he's gonna end up in a very bad situation if they choose to do him like that.
And this right here is how anger can cause a person to completely relinquish their power and control that they have on their own life. You know what I'm saying? Like just like that, if the teacher or the school decides to call the cops or like whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Like you've opened up yourself in that type of situation, or you're banned from this store, or like what I'm saying, whatnot. You can't get food now, you know what I mean? Something like that. So like don't paint yourself in a corner. You know what I mean?
And these are the types of things that we need to keep in mind, during this time. You know what I mean? That this is just a petty issue with the mask, and don't let the hysteria and all of that stuff get to you. You know what I'm saying? Just keep your mask on you for those of you that are not, inclined to wear one, to be able to solve your problems peaceably, okay? Because your children need you there. You know what I'm saying? Your wife needs you there. Your elderly mother and relatives and loved ones, they are dependent on you, okay? So don't get caught up in trying to stand for something when this is just yet another ploy for control by some wicked rulers. You know what I'm saying? To further separate and try to bring people out there. You know what I'm saying? Move like you usually do back in the day with the streets. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people moved like that. You know what I mean? They gave the appearance that they weren't doing, you know what I'm saying, what the police were trying to say that they were doing, but the whole time they was making those moves. So the same way that a lot of us did that wickedly, we can now do that righteously. Okay, so hopefully this resonates with you guys, and kind of gives you some insight on some of the things that you can do in order to make it through these trying times. All right, this the pod roast. Here come the hot stepper. Here come the spiritual warrior. Excuse me, good people. I still love you like that. Hey.